Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel R Legal Info. The purpose of this channel is to spread legal awareness. We will continue our IPC series and today we will understand general exceptions. So without any further delay, let's get started. So chapter 4 of IPC has enlisted offenses. So even if we commit those offenses, we will be excused for our criminal liability. So even if the accused, even if we committed such offenses and we do not plead for the defense, still if the evidence clearly state that in this scenario general exception is applicable, the court will suo motu, that means court will apply themselves on the case. General exceptions is very wide. It is not only limited to the offenses under IPC, but it extends to the offenses that comes under special law or a local law. General exceptions is mentioned in chapter 4 of Indian Penal Code. It consists of 31 sections. For better understanding and learning, we have divided it into 3 categories. The first one is mistake of fact / mistake of law, mentioned in section 76 and 79. So mistake of fact or mistake of law, it means nothing is an offense which is done by a person believing himself that he is bound to do an act with a good faith. So those acts will not be criminal acts. This act protect the subordinate officers. So for example, if a general commandant order the subordinate to fire, then the firing by subordinate will not be considered a criminal offense. He will be believed that he is doing an act with a good faith, following the command, and he is bound by the law. Okay, the essential of the person should be bound by law. If the person is not bound by law, then this section will not be applicable. Section 79 states act done by a person justified or by mistake of fact believing himself justified by law, which means that nothing is offense, okay, when a person is doing an act with a good faith believing that the act is justified by law. That means any act which is done and he believes that the act is justified and the act is justified by law, then he will not be liable for criminal liability. Okay. The essential of section 79 is the person's act should be justified by law. So if you are doing any act and you think that no, it is justified by me, but it is not justified by law, then in that case you will be liable. So there was a case where there were 4 people who were trapped in an island and there was no way out and they were hungry, and there were 3 adults and 1 child. So the child condition was equally bad, but he was not able to survive. So what the 3 people did, they cannibalized, they killed the child and they ate the flesh with the belief that the act they are doing is to save themselves, is justified for them. But when they were convicted, so when they were taken to the court said that the act that you have done is not justified by the law, because the child also has the equal right to live and right to life, because he was not capable enough to kill you people, then you in return, that's why they have killed the child. So it is not justified by law and they were acquitted according to the provision. There is another very important case which has changed a lot in the police cases. So there was a case of state of Andhra Pradesh versus Venugopal 1994. The police sub-inspector, one of the head constable, have arrested a person on a belief that he has received some stolen property and he was involved in house breaking. Okay, later the person was found that he has injuries on his body. The policemen have beaten him. The prosecution alleged the police for a wrongful confinement. Okay, the prosecution have alleged the police for wrongful confinement and the torture for taking out the confession out of him. The trial court, the lowest court, convicted the police. They have convicted the police, they arrested the police, and the High Court acquitted giving them the defense of 79. So 79, that he was, the act which was done was justified by law. Whatever police do during investigation is justified by law. However, Supreme Court said that High Court is wholly unwarranted in law beating is unwarranted in law. Beating and torturing is absolutely no relation to the process of investigation. So this was, the police people were convicted. This has changed a lot. So thank you so much for this. Is it for now, and tomorrow we will understand the second category of general exceptions.